Have you noticed over the past few years that we Catholics seem thinner in the ranks on a Sunday? Either there are more pews or there are fewer Catholics attending Mass. Should we be concerned? We have read much on this issue and have heard many perspectives and opinions as to why Catholics seem to be falling away from the practice of their faith. In Europe, many studies have been done to try to understand the decline of Christianity. Some point to the increasing momentum of liberal theology and criticism of the Bible. It's been said that Christianity is declining because most Europeans don't see it as relevant in today's world. There are strong opinions held that there is a direct link to the reception of communion in the hand. This practice seems to have brought in a casual attitude when receiving our Lord in the Eucharist. Not to say that all who receive our Lord this way are casual about whom they are receiving. Neither are we saying that those who receive our Lord on the tongue and kneeling always have their hearts united with God's. Not at all. But outward demeanor often reflects interior disposition. And studies show strong evidence that a decline in Mass attendance has sharply increased around the introduction of this practice. There also seems to be little understanding of our faith. It makes sense that if Catholics truly believed whom it was they were receiving in the Eucharist, they would be trying to get to Mass as often as possible. This speaks to the role of priests and parents. Are we teaching our children? Are we informing ourselves? Your single duty beyond the salvation of your own souls is to lead your children safely to heaven. This is your most important role. St. John Vianney says, "Parents, know that if your children go to hell, be sure that they will join you in the flames already waiting for them." Parents have been given the sacred duty of raising the future citizens of heaven. Teaching our children, in matter of fact, may be part of the solution to fill the pews. We also have noticed a decline in devotion to Our Lady, the Rosary, and the brown scapular is barely spoken about, a reflection of the loss of supernatural faith. Another reason held by some, and this opinion seems to be gaining momentum, is that in the ordinary form of the Mass or the novice order, we are offering people a watered-down Protestant type of Mass, having largely thrown out many of the beautiful and sacred ways of old. We are presenting to the faithful Catholic light. This is seen in the God is mercy and love homilies with very little mention of the four last things, namely death, judgment, heaven, and hell. It is seen in the absence of sacred music, as well as the absence of Latin, the language of the Church. The priest has become an eloquent orator, an entertainer, doing his best so that the faithful aren't discouraged from returning. He now faces the people, seeming to be in the role of dialogue creator between God and the people, instead of offering the sacrifice to God on behalf of the people while facing the altar. Interestingly, surveys have shown that young people are wanting a glimpse of the sacred. They are wanting clear boundaries where right and wrong aren't opinions, but a handing down of Jesus' teachings through his church. They are wanting to be immersed in the true apostolic church that shows them a window into heaven. Linked to this are the thought-provoking studies that reflect that in the United States, the growth in the Catholic Church and with regards to vocations is taking place in the traditional space. Something to think about. Let us remember also that even though there may be a sparse mass congregation, every liturgy is a universal and timeless event. A small congregation and empty pews may be a concern, but those who are there are an indicator of the unwavering faith and fidelity to Christ's bride, the church. This is enough cause for celebration. And remember, fight the good fight and keep the faith.